Hi, everyone. I'm Monique Denal with MD Consulting. Have you recently been promoted from being an individual contributor to being a manager who is now managing your former peers? Many of my clients have this situation and they come to coaching really struggling. How do I manage my former peers? How do I do this? I used to be their friend, now I'm their manager. These are some of the challenges that come up, some of the questions that come up in coaching. So there are a couple of strategies you can use to make that transition easier for you. First of all, if you've been newly promoted, congratulations, because I'm sure that you deserve it. Now we just need to make that transition a little bit easier for you and not such a struggle. So first, let's define individual contributor. That is a term that's used when you are part of a team, you do not have management responsibilities, you don't have anyone reporting to you. You work pretty much independently and you're responsible for various deliverables and getting the work done on a daily basis. When you are a manager, sometimes you don't have direct reports and sometimes you do. So under the context of today's video, we're going to use the term manager, meaning that you have direct reports. And in this case, we're going to be talking about direct reports that used to be your peers. Okay, so there's a couple strategies that you can use. First off, you want to set boundaries with your team. Now, that's where you define for them and you clarify various boundaries, specifically that you are not an individual contributor anymore, you're their manager. So there's a distinction, there's a boundary between being friends and being their manager. That means no favoritism. That means treating them and speaking to them in a professional way when maybe before you didn't, or maybe before it was a less formal type of interaction. So at this point, you want to strive for professionalism, keeping in mind that you are now their manager. So it's very important to set those boundaries and to verbalize them so that your team knows and understands them. Second, you want to set a good example. And really, I have people think about what they want from their team. What kind of behavior are they expecting from their team? And that is what you as a manager needs to set the example for. You need to be modeling that. And that means you have to put some thought into what it is you want to see from them. No one wants to see a manager who has double standards, who is behaving one way, but expects their team to behave another way. So consistency is the key here. Finally, focus. You want to focus on goals and deliverables. Now, as a manager, you are responsible for driving the work, not necessarily doing that work. That is left up to your direct reports. So it's important that you clarify for them what the goals are, what the deliverables are, what your expectations are. And then you have to hold them accountable because now you're their manager. You're no longer their friend, so to speak. So you cannot show favoritism. If somebody isn't performing, you need to give them that feedback. That's part of your job as a manager. And my clients struggle with this all the time with how to give feedback to someone that used to be a former peer. So it can be difficult, but it can be done. And it's very important, these three strategies: setting boundaries, setting an example, and focusing on goals and deliverables. You will find that your team will be much more successful if you can implement these three strategies. They will be much less confused about what your role is, and they will be less confused about what their roles are and what the expectations are. So I encourage you to think about these strategies, try them out. And if you have any difficulty, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to schedule a breakthrough session with you. Just email me at monique@mdconsultingglobal.com and we will set something up so that we can chat. Thank you and have a great day.